Go ahead.
What's the anticipation like now that you kind of have started preparing for Clemson? You know, what were the guys kind of acting? You know, how are you?
Well, today was kind of it was a bittersweet day in that we're turning our attention to Clemson is a good thing. But, you know, there's some guys that ended up, you know, on some scout team responsibilities that, you know, were in the tank a little bit. You know, it's not always easy, but, you know, there's, the thing that they got to understand is that it's a very important role, number one. We need everybody to know their role and play it well if we're going to have any chance of success. And the other thing is it's really, you know, how you finish in your career rather than how you start. And, I mean, just a couple years ago, Jarvis Jones was on the scout team. You know, first-round draft pick. We had Thomas Davis back when he was a true freshman was on the scout team, and ended up being a first-round draft pick. So just because you play a little scout team doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. And it's an opportunity for those guys to continue to work on all of their fundamentals and get better and also help the team win. So it's an important role.
Mark, you made any decision or announcement on walk-ons this year receiving scholarships? Who that's going to be?
I've decided not to make any announcements this year because it's another bittersweet day. You know, for some guys it's a great celebration, and for other guys it's a heartbreaking day because they were hoping that they might have been one of the guys to get it. So I told the guys in private who got it and who got them, and because I just, in the past I might have had a team meeting and announced it at a team meeting, and everybody cheers for those guys and they're so happy for them, but it also is it's a tough day for some of the other guys that deserve it but didn't get that opportunity.
I was going to ask you with this scrimmage tomorrow, are you guys anywhere close to releasing a new depth chart? And we haven't had one since the preseason started.
Do we have to release depth charts around here?
we usually have one in the game notes next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Not that it's
it would be
final,
an official, unofficial.
Would you like to go over that now?
No, I don't really know.
Mark, how many walk-ons did you give scholarships to?
I'm not even going to say
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Just going to stay away from it. But it was, you know, it was a few.
How has Christian Robinson made the transition from player to coach?
Well, so far I think really well. I think it was kind of a natural for him. He obviously grew up in a house with his father being a coach, so I think he understood the life of a coach. And he was very much a coach on the field. He was, you know, he was a very good player, but another tremendous value for the team was how he could get not only himself lined up, but everybody else around him lined up, and how quickly he could recognize maybe a formation or a motion or something to make adjustments quickly, or to give guys something to look for, a certain tendency, a heavy tendency in a certain formation. So in a way, he's been a coach on the field already, and he is, again, I can't think of another guy that I've had going from player to GA the very next season. I normally don't do that. I normally let them go off and grow up a little bit, and also let them separate themselves a little bit from the team, because I'm not sure it's real healthy for guys to try to make that transition that fast, but I have faith in his maturity to be able to do that.
Mark, where do you see the health of the secondary at this point?
Well, it's not as healthy as I hoped it would be. There's guys that are missing reps, obviously. I don't know when Ron gives the report out, but you guys, whatever you see, we don't have every guy that could be getting reps, getting them, and that hurts us. Some guys might be ready by the time the game starts, but how many reps are they going to get between now and then to really be as ready as they could have been if they got all those reps? So it's a problem, but it's football. We all know that happens in football, and everybody's got their problems, so we'll be okay.
Kind of in that vein, Swanee, as you like to call him, as far as we can tell, hasn't missed a leg, been out there every day. Do you think
He's got a green jersey here and there for various reasons, but I think I don't know if he has missed a practice.
What, just your thoughts on him, his development since
Right.
you got him out of Grady, and
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah, Swan has been, Damien has been, he's always been talented, obviously, and he's been playing for us really from the beginning. He was always the guy that was playing who wasn't a senior, so to speak. I mean, last year, he had a bunch of veterans ahead of him his whole career until last year they all left. And then he was the only one left with a bunch of pups. And so now he's in that leadership role. And so I think he's transitioned pretty well. I think he's, from what I understand, he did a good job in the summer of trying to organize the pass skeleton for the defense and teaching young guys all summer and throughout camp. And I think he's enjoying his role as a leader.
Is he of that caliber? Can you pronounce yet? He's going into his junior year of being an all-conference type of corner. Obviously he got
I think
indoctrinated against guys like Amari Cooper.
Well, I think he's made enough plays in his career that people know his name, they know who he is, and I think they have a respect for how he plays the game. So he has enough people who know him. I mean, obviously these teams are voted on by writers and coaches, and so a lot of times it's just, if you don't really know who to vote for, you vote for the guy you know. You vote for the guy you remember his name, and I think Swan's made enough plays where people know who he is. But if a guy has a season that's just far and above everybody else, obviously he'll be the first team guy. But if a bunch of guys that are close statistically, a lot of times it's the guy they remember. And I think Swan's got some good name recognition because he's earned it.
Mark, you talked about transitions. What can Todd expect going from a freshman who had a terrific year to a sophomore where everyone knows him a little bit better?
Well, I think no matter who the running back is, people want to tackle him. You know what I mean? So I don't know if he could be considered a surprise, because whoever's in the backfield and gets the ball, that's the focal point of any defense. So I don't know if anybody can game plan something different for him, because the bottom line is everybody's defense is geared to stop the run. And if they got to get another safety in the box to do it, they'll do it, but they risk some one-on-one coverage on the outside when they do it. So I think what Todd's going to bring this season is a guy with much more knowledge, a guy who's in better condition, and a guy who's much better in the passing game, pass protector, route runner. So I wouldn't be shocked to see him, catch more balls than he did a year ago. And my guess is he'll be pretty close to the same yards per carry as he was a year ago, or at least I hope he will be. So I mean, the yards per carry is probably a stat that would be worth watching, because if a guy gets less yards, you're like, well, he was less productive, but maybe he carried it less. Or if a guy gets more, if he gets more carries. If he gets more carries than a year ago, I'm hoping he'll have at least the amount of yards that he had or more.